So it's Sunday and it's time for my mental health vlog. Happy Pride Month. This is Stella for right now. She is visiting us for a little while to see if she is a good fit for our family and if our family is a good fit for her. And so far, she and our other dog are getting along. We're keeping them separated. We talked to a couple of pet behavior specialists on how to introduce them, and we have a really good plan for the two of them to make sure that we don't have any other issues like we did when we tried to introduce the other dog. So she's a little skittish, and she has a mohawk. Did you see the mohawk? I love your mohawk. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And when you become part of our family permanently, I'm dyeing it blue so you can match Papa. Yes, I am. All right, you want to get back on the floor? Okay. So that's Stella. We don't really know. We don't really know what she is. Neither did the rescue or the foster. We feel like there's some terrier in her, but she's a medium dog on the smaller side. So I think it'll be a better fit for our current dog. So, let's see, this week has actually been very, very busy for me. And I have been super busy at work, and I'm trying to adjust to a new medication. So I was taking Focalin, 15 milligrams of Focalin, which is for ADHD, in the morning. And that kind of faded off about 11 or 12. So my psychiatrist and I decided to try an extended release for Focalin. Still 15 milligrams. Wow, what a difference the extended release makes. I am finding myself very focused at work. I'm getting a lot done, which is great because I'm so freaking busy right now. But the downside is, for the past couple of nights, I've had a really hard time getting to sleep. And it's not that I'm taking the pill late. You know, I'm taking it early in the day, first thing in the morning, honestly. But still, I think there was one night I was up until 3, one night I was up until 2, one night I was up until 2 again. So it will be an adjustment to get used to that medication. However, it has been fun because as I'm laying in bed wide awake, I'm thinking about all these cool things at work that I can do to make my projects better, faster, smarter, whatever. So I just grab my little phone, make myself a recording to remind myself to do something the next day, because I know if I go to sleep and wake up, I will have forgotten whatever it was. So came up with some really cool stuff the other night and started working on it. So it's pretty cool. We had our son on Friday and Saturday. My son on Friday and Saturday. And a lot of fun. Just a nice chill visit. We got him his own little desk set up in his room, so he has like his own little space. So if he does want to play on his laptop, he doesn't have to sit on the floor in his room or on the table in the public space, because sometimes he just wants to hang out in his room, and that's okay. Not too much, but it's okay. He's super excited because he's not next weekend, but the week after next weekend, which is July 15th, I think we are heading to Florida. So he'll get to see his grandparents and his aunts for the first time in a couple of years. Kids, a couple of years is a big change. There's a good chance he may not even remember the last time he was in Florida. So I'm excited for him to see his family. His family is super important, and honestly, we don't know how long some of them are going to be around, which is horrible to think about, but it's the grim reality of humanity. My parents were talking about their post-death plans, and they've recently purchased, set up their afterlife, what's going to happen to their body and whatnot, and that's been really hard to think about, because that's again that grim aspect of reality. And I'm having a really hard time envisioning my life without certain people, but it's something that everyone goes through. I'm not alone in this. So I'm sure there are resources and support for me when that time does come, but I hope it's not for a very long time, because I am a 43-year-old guy who still needs his mommy. So she has to live forever. Somebody find that potion that Goldie Hawn and Meryl Streep took. Do you remember where we parked the car? Let's see. My boyfriend had oral surgery on Tuesday. Yes. Oh, this week had a holiday. That made things weird. Tuesday or Wednesday he had oral surgery. I think it was Tuesday. He's getting an implant for one of his teeth, and they had to do a bone graft. And when that had to heal, and then they were putting in the post, but they waited too long to do the post, so they had to cut more back when they were doing the post. So his recovery's been going pretty good, and it doesn't seem to be super, super painful. I swear, with his family and me, it's just, okay, who's next for surgery? Who's next for a medical problem? His dad actually just had knee replacement surgery this week as well. So we are definitely a family with a lot of medical bills. And I talked about work being really busy and adjusting to the new medication. Something that I thought about yesterday actually was how little time I've done for self-care this week. Just taking those me time, those moments, an extra long shower just to stand under the hot steaming water and feel it melt off my skin, because I do love that. But just to relax and meditate and be mindful and peaceful, like that really hasn't happened at all. I gotta get better at that, because I mean, y'all know I talk about it all the time. Self-care is very important, and I have just totally dropped the ball, and I do that a lot. But all I can do is recognize it and try and make it better. That's all I can do. Saturday was my boyfriend's and my 2-year anniversary. Our very first date. We were gonna meet at Starbucks on Westheimer because everything was closed for COVID, like nobody could go into anything. So he picked up some box dinner for us from La Madeleine, which is a little French bakery in the area. And we met at Starbucks, and we had drinks, and we ate dinner, and we sat there until the sun went down, which in Texas in June, that's like really late. And even though we were social distance all through dinner, I couldn't not give him a kiss goodnight at the end of our date. Being a recovering sex addict, I wanted to do a lot more, but I stuck to my rules. He helped me stick to my rules early on in the relationship, and it's just been a really nice journey. We've both grown so much, and we continue to grow. We continue to support each other. We continue to be there for each other. I'm in a relationship where I can be completely honest 100% of the time, which is something I've never been able to do in my entire life. And that's not because of the people that I was with. That was because of me. But I'm finding a way to make my honesty work in a relationship, and it's just been great. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I mean, my son loves him. He loves my son. His parents have pretty much adopted me. My mother loves my boyfriend. So I'm really happy, and I deserve to be happy, and I'm worthy of happiness, and I'm worthy of love. Those are things you have to remind yourself of every now and then. Let's see what else happened. Oh, y'all, this was funny. So, I had my sinus surgery for the deviated septum a couple weeks ago. One of the things that I have to do every other day or so is to run the Neti Pot to clean out my sinuses. Now, if you're not familiar with a Neti Pot, they come in tubes or pots or whatever, but the concept is the same. You're injecting or running saline water through one nostril, which runs through your sinuses, cleans it out, and then it comes out the other nostril. You may have seen people do like a comedy sketch with like spaghetti noodle or something, but it's that kind of same concept. So I had to do that while my son was here. And I'm like, hey, come here, I want to show you something. So I showed him the little pot. It looks like a little plastic teapot. And I told him what was in it, which was the saline solution water. And I kind of explained what's going to happen. So I stood over the sink and I put the little thing to my nostril. I said, are you ready? He's like, yeah. I tilted my head, and after a few seconds, the water started coming out this nostril. And he was just like, water's not supposed to do that. Oh my God. So I have water running through my head. I try not to laugh. I almost drowned. But anyway, it was funny. It was just really cute, and I'm really enjoying these learning moments with my son, where we've recently been trying really hard to teach him some science things here and there, some history things here and there, and this was a great opportunity for biology, anatomy lesson, and how sinuses work. So it was pretty cool, and I enjoyed when he gets excited learning things. Haven't heard from the repair shop on my big embroidery machine yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be very expensive to repair. So right now I only have my one little old backup machine, which is slower, which is more temperamental, which is more frustrating, but I'm at least able to get my existing orders done before I go to Florida, knock on wood. And then I will reopen my shop and start taking new orders again once I get the machine repaired, which I don't want to know how much that's going to cost. Let's talk about the anniversary. So last night my boyfriend and I went back to La Madeleine for dinner. We were going to go get La Madeleine and then go to Starbucks and sit at the same place, but I'm like, it's hot. I want air conditioning. So we sat inside La Madeleine and we had dinner, which was all right. And then we went to do a rooftop movie where you reserve your seats and you get headphones and you bring your own food, and they have popcorn and alcohol and water and stuff that you can buy. And then we watched Pulp Fiction. So I've never seen Pulp Fiction, neither has he. And I don't think it's a movie for me. I'm not a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino, but it was nice being up there. It was really, really cute at first. If we were in a love seat, like Adirondack, which I started at like a 45-degree angle and I ended the night flat. Throughout the night, the chair just kept like getting more and more and more and more and more and more flat, to the point where I couldn't see the second half of the movie. Even with my hand trying to hold my head up, I just could not see like any of the movie. Like if I wanted to see the movie, I had to like pull myself up and look at it and then lay back down. It was so bad. I was so uncomfortable. And the thing was, I was so embarrassed because at one point I had gotten up and really stacked in there pretty well. So with me laying super flat, I'm in the lap of the person behind me. So I had already gotten up once to try and figure out what was going on with the chair. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to fix it. And I didn't want to block anyone's view of the movie. So I had my boyfriend get up and all the stuff get up. I pulled the love seat out of the line of view. I tried to figure out what I could do. Nothing I could tell. So I slid it back in. And I kind of walked around for a little bit. When I came back, I really did. I was miserable for a good like 45 minutes. And I was so embarrassed. I was mortified. Normally I don't get like that. And I was talking to my boyfriend last night about this. I'm like, it's very weird that I was so embarrassed about that, because I normally don't give a crap what anybody thinks about me. And I'm not worried about if someone thinks I'm being silly or stupid or whatever. I mean, I don't care. But this one did. This one really got me. Super embarrassed. I felt like I couldn't move, because if I moved, I was going to be bothering people. I felt like I couldn't get up, because if I got up, I was going to be blocking people from the screen. People were already noticing that I was having a hard time with the chair. Or did I break the chair because I'm a big guy? I mean, all these things were running through my head that really bothered me later. So I think I want to talk with I have therapy this week, so I think I want to talk with my therapist about that. Because like I said, I normally don't get embarrassed, but I was mortified. We actually ended up leaving the movie early because I couldn't lay there anymore. I was uncomfortable. I was hot. I couldn't see anything. I got up. I packed stuff up. I walked away, and I sent my boyfriend a text message. I'm like, when you're ready, grab the bag. I'm just going to stay back here for the rest of the night, and when the movie's over, we can go. And it's like, let's just go now, because neither one of us were really into the movie. No idea how it ended, but it's very gory. A lot of language. Anyway, so that's been my week. Tonight we're going to... we have tickets to go see Alyssa Edwards, which is a drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, with Chris and one of his friends. So that should be fun, dinner and that. This week is another busy week at work. And next weekend I've got Joshua my son Friday and Saturday again. And then we fly out on Wednesday. So I'm sure I'll have some interesting things to talk to you guys about next Sunday. But that's it for me this week. Check on your friends, make sure they're doing okay. I miss some of my friends. We're actually getting together for Pride Weekend. Some of my friends are getting together for Pride Weekend, and I'm excited because I miss my friends. Aside from my group on Thursday, like I have no other social interaction with people anymore. So I love my Thursday group, and I love all the guys in my Thursday group, but I definitely miss my other friends too. So happy to see them in a couple of weeks. Check on your family, make sure they are doing okay. Mine all seems to be doing relatively well, which is great news. Check on yourself, make sure you are doing okay. Do not lead by my example. Make sure you're doing your self-care, and clock yourself if you're not, because I am not, and I clocked myself. So that's it, guys. I will see you next week. Happy Pride Month.